Hey everybody, welcome back! Today's video is going to be a bit different. Normally, I might add a couple of extra tidbits of info and such to the beginning or at the end of a video, but I felt that I had way too much extra stuff to cover. So this is going to be a news video. I think there's going to be something for everyone here, so please stick around, but you can skip something if it doesn't interest you. Now, for most of you, this probably won't come across as new or noteworthy, but Commodore is back, baby! I ordered one of the new Commodore 64 Ultimate machines with personal funds, and I'm still waiting for mine, believe it or not. I'm a patient guy, so that's okay. Christian Simpson, aka Perry Fractic, has poured so much of himself into bringing the Commodore brand back to life, as well as many other individuals that have been assisting him. These are exciting times for us who love our machines, and I'm super eager to see where he takes the company next. But I hope it's more than just slapping a Commodore logo on things like vacuum cleaners or a coffee maker, you know? It seems that the branding has been misused for many years now, and opinions vary widely on what kind of products they should come out with. Some people want to see Commodore compete with major brands in the area of computers and laptops and such, but I personally think that the company should cater more to the retro community, because retro is really a big thing right now. I think that competing against modern tech is just, well, an easy way to bring a fast end to the company. Now, if Commodore can beat someone to the punch on some kind of really cool, brand new, never seen before kind of tech, then fine, go for it. But slapping a Commodore logo on a modern laptop or desktop PC is really just using the name for namesake. They'd just be joining the crowd instead of trying to stand apart from it. Speaking of laptops though, on my wish list of products that I'd love to see is a Commodore 64 in laptop form, but not with the tiny little screens I've seen on homemade devices. I think the screen should be perhaps 14 or 15 inches, and in my research, screens that size don't really cost very much these days. For example, about a year ago, I bought a 15.6 ViewSonic portable monitor for about $100. I'd also love for the laptop to be able to run multiple instances of the C64 at the same time, and that you'd be able to switch between the running cores with a key press or key combo. And, as an added bonus, it would be cool if there was a touchscreen version where the point of contact could be read from the paddle lines. As for the look and color scheme, I'd rather that it have a sleek design and not necessarily bear the same colors of the traditional bread bin. I think that dark blue would be a nice color with the Commodore logo on the lid. I'm not really attached to the look of the original Commodore computers as much as some people are. I'm more about the authenticity of that grid of 320 by 200 pixels in those familiar 16 shades of color. That portal into a world of bits and bytes, characters, and sprites. The images you see on screen were AI generated, and I apologize to those who might take offense to my use of AI slop. I'd rather put my energy into improving Vision Basic than to spend numerous hours trying to whip up images in my paint program for my videos. As it is, editing these videos is probably the most time-consuming part of the process. Regardless, I think the AI captured my vision perfectly for this laptop. Honestly, I'm not a huge fan of AI, but I do think it has its uses. The one thing missing in this image is that I'd still like to have function keys on the right side as they are on a real Commodore 64. Perhaps have all 8 function keys as separate keys and maybe throw in a couple extra. Having the function keys at the top as they are on modern computers is not very convenient. And I tried to get the AI to put some function keys on this image here, and it failed miserably, so I'm just going to let it be for now. And one of the early keyboard designs that I saw for the Commander X16 computer shows how the Commodore graphics characters can be fashionably displayed on the tops of low-profile keys. As excited as I am about all of the possibilities ahead of us, I do think we run the risk of losing track of what it truly means to have a retro experience. A lot of younger people will never know what it's like to experience the C64 as it truly was to experience one in the 80s and 90s. Granted, I don't miss the super slow disk access, and I love the extra speed provided by accelerators and the extra RAM provided by an RU, for example. But when does it stop being retro? If you put a modern engine in an old Ford Mustang and deck out the interior with a bunch of modern gadgets and modern upholstery and give it a paint job that wouldn't even be possible in the 60s, you've strayed too far, in my opinion. Back in the 80s, you could plug in some extra RAM or even an accelerator into the back of the C64, and you would still have a Commodore 64. If we stray too far from that, though, it wouldn't be a C64 anymore. Okay, the next bit of news I'd like to announce is yet another thing you're probably already familiar with: the return of Compute's Gazette. When it was first announced that the magazine would be making a comeback, I was a little skeptical. I wasn't fully confident that a magazine was going to show up at my doorstep if I paid for a year's subscription. So when I saw that I could purchase the first issue without any kind of commitment, I decided that that wasn't a huge gamble. Several issues later, I have a small collection growing. I love the fact that it still has type-in programs inside, even though a percentage of the community doesn't care for that. And sadly, I don't have time for it right now myself, but still, I consider it a must. I'm not sure if these programs are available as a download anywhere, but I do think that it should be an option for those of us who lack the time to type them in. The magazine does cover several retro computers, so it's more like the original Compute magazine than the Gazette version. It's nice to see that each computer from my younger years still has a loyal following. It also has content for the Mega 65 and the Commander X16, so that's awesome. Since you don't have to commit to a subscription, even though I wish they had an annual subscription price, I recommend checking it out and ordering a sample issue. I'll leave some links in the description to things I'm covering in this video. I think the only critique I have to offer about this magazine is that the spacing of things is a bit odd in places, like around various edges and such. I mean, that's just a minor thing really. Otherwise, it's very professionally done. Alright, so in October, my wife and I took a trip to the Dallas-Fort Worth area to visit with some friends. As luck would have it, there are at least two things in the area that a retro enthusiast should visit. The first is the National Videogame Museum in Frisco, and the next is the Time Rift Arcade, which is in nearby Bedford. Now, if you watch the 8-Bit Guy's YouTube channel like I do, you'll know why I just had to visit. We were only going to be in the area for 3 days, so we were planning to visit both places on Monday, I think. Well, I'm used to most places being open from Monday through Friday, but weirdly enough, both places were closed on Mondays. And as a side note, the Time Rift Arcade is also closed on Tuesdays, in case you ever plan to visit. I made the mistake of not checking to see which days these places were open, but still, closed on Mondays, both of them? At least I checked on this a night or two beforehand. We weren't going to be able to go to the museum, sadly, but I had to at least try to visit the arcade. We worked around a visit with some friends, leaving them a little earlier than planned, and made our way to the arcade. I believe this was on a Sunday night, and I think we got there around 8 p.m. It wasn't a super busy night, so that was nice, but at the same time, it would have been a little more fun if folks we knew could have joined us. Because it was late, we only stayed for about an hour. The 8-Bit Guy wasn't there, but that's okay. I'm not a terribly social person anyhow. I played all of the games there that I remember from my youth. One of my favorites there is Tron. Now, the visit for us would have been perfect if they had Star Wars and Frogger. I love playing me some Star Wars now. Anyhow, if any of you guys are ever in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, make sure to visit both places. We also went to Buc-ee's, which was a whole other experience. But don't buy their jerky. It's tasty, but it'll wreck your jaw. I bought 2 bags of the stuff and my jaw was super sore after eating each bag. And no, it wasn't because I ate the bag, silly. I ate the contents of the bag. Their jerky is tough stuff. No wonder their mascot is a beaver. I still recommend checking them out while you're there, though. It's like if Walmart and a gas station got together and had a baby. It's huge. Alright, it's time to showcase a couple of games made by my customers. and a brand new add-on pack for Vision Basic. Let's start with the add-on pack. Vision Basic doesn't natively support several of the math functions like sine and cosine and such, but John T., I don't want to say his last name incorrectly, created a math pack that adds back in the functions of log, exp, and atn, but also improved versions of sine, cosine, and tangent compared to the versions provided by my own math pack, which is part of the graphics pack that comes with Vision Basic. His math pack includes a set of highly accurate trig functions that tap directly into Basic's ROM routines, but also includes a set of faster variations of those same functions. To show you how these math functions are better in Vision Basic compared to regular Basic, let's first look at a plasma demo in regular Basic. And you'll notice that it runs at a snail's pace. The program uses the sine and logarithm functions to create the pattern you see. And as cool as this demo is, let's just go ahead and stop. Okay. Okay, next we'll see how it fares when compiled with the Blitz compiler. And we're going to run it. And, well, that's only marginally better. I mean, come on, this is Blitz, right? Now, as a note, I will admit that the bulk of, the time here and why it's taking so long is it has to do with those sine and logarithmic functions. So they're eating up most of the cycles here. So just to be fair, and I can't. Let's see. How do I get out of this? Okay, that took too long. All right, now we're going to load up the Vision Basic version with John's faster versions of the trig functions. Plasma Demo 2, and this is the compiled version. And we're going to run it. Oh my! Now, this one has been optimized with a little bit of assembly language and a few programming tricks, but the focal point here should be on the functions themselves. Although the faster variations of the trig functions are less accurate, the speed increase is phenomenal. And something a lot of new programmers do not understand about math on the C64 is that floating point math is inherently slow on the machine. I think a lot of people are looking for programming languages on the C64 that can do complex math at breakneck speed. But complex math, especially involving trig functions, eats up tons and tons of computer cycles. Unless you calculate certain functions ahead of time, they're typically going to be slow no matter what, unless you sacrifice some accuracy. The best you can hope for is to optimize the rest of your code. So this demo does use the faster, less accurate trig functions of the math pack, but at least you get some speed. And sometimes that's all you need. As a note to all of my Vision Basic customers, John's math pack can be found in the forums of the Vision Basic website. Okay, so let's take a look at a game by David Martinez called Mega Chase that he programmed in Vision Basic. The SID file he created for the game can only execute on PAL computers, so the game itself only works on PAL systems, but Vice allows us to run the game if we switch it over to PAL. David says that the game is best played with 2 players, but all I have at the moment here is myself. And I don't think my cats are going to play, so anyhow, let's see how I do. Okay, I would love to play it for a while, but we gotta move on here. Okay, I'm gonna play the easy. I don't know if you guys can hear me, so. Well, the goal is to try to shoot the ship, and it keeps kind of like doing a hyperspace thing, so there, I done it. Okay, anyhow, that's the that's me playing it. I'm sure most of you could do better. Anyhow, that's pretty impressive. I especially love the title screen and the SID music. I'll provide a download link in the description for anyone who wishes to play this game. And next, let's look at a game by Marco Bergomi, I think, called Problems Are Raining Down on Me. Okay, let's read this. Collect all the objects that fall from the sky, but be careful. Some of them are dangerous. You know that in the business world, time is money, so don't waste too much or you'll be fired. Press fire on the correct objects and bring them to the warehouse before time runs out, or your boss will fire you. If you run out of money, you'll be fired. When you reach the warehouse, press fire again to leave the item. Unlimited lives? Sure, why not? Unlimited time with fixed score? Why not? Okay, this is my little guy here. I'm going to call him Fred. And I think this is one of the safe things you can pick up. Just press the button. Place it down here in the warehouse. You don't know which things are dangerous until you've played it a while. I think this is one of the dangerous ones. But because we have unlimited lives, yeah, see, that's dangerous, and, yeah, that one's 2. I don't know about the cents. Let's do cent. Okay, pick that up. I guess money's money, right? And we got the little berserk guy here. Oops. Don't run into him. He's not friendly. Put that down there. Got an apple. Okay. We got 6 more items left, I think. Cup of Joe. Pick that up. Bring it down here. Oh, little happy face. Those are good. There you go. Like I said, these other faces here, I don't know. They look, well, I don't know. Are they mean or happy? I don't know. But you just don't want to hit those, and you don't want to hit the thing that looks like a toilet. I think it's a toilet. Yeah. So don't hit that either. This thing. And don't think these are good. Nope. Skull thing, obviously. Or whatever that is. Money, money, money. There we go. I think you can only pick up one thing at a time. Oh, I think I switched. Or did it? Okay. There we go. Got 2 more items here. Okay, there. And I need more coffee anyway, so hey. There we go. More coffee. Bringing it down. Wee-haw. Alright, and then it starts over, and it just, I guess it gets increasingly difficult. And I wish I knew what these areas here were for. I mean, I'm pretty sure this is the warehouse. I don't think these things do anything, so I think it's just something to look at. You know, give it some, well, you know, texture. There you go. That's the word. And this game can be found on the csdb.dk website. I don't know what that means. And I'll provide a download link in the description. Next, I'd like to share with you an app created by the guy behind the Retro Old Guy YouTube channel. His name is Ken. Since I don't have a Mac computer, I can only show you the trial version of this program for Windows. The program is called 1541 Navigator, and it lets you view the contents of C64 disk images without having to go into the Vice emulator. But it offers a lot more convenience too. With it, you can quickly view the directory, but you can also view the contents of each file in a variety of fashions. You can view basic program listings in a flash and assembly language listings as well. And the full version that you can download from the Apple Store allows you to view listings for a number of basic extensions, including Vision Basic. I would have showcased this app many moons ago, but I don't have a Mac computer, so I can only show you the trial version for Windows. And the trial version can't display Vision Basic listings. From what I understand, getting a Windows version hosted with a major app store is hitting up against a roadblock. But if you're content with what the trial app can do, go ahead and give it a spin if you'd like. And if you have a Mac computer, you can give the trial app a try or purchase the full app from the Apple Store. The price at the Apple Store is cheaper than a lot of the meal deals you'll find at the fast food places, and possibly cheaper than a Starbucks coffee. But I don't go there, so don't quote me on that. I stick to my K-Pods, which I usually get on sale. So don't paint me jealous. And again, I'll provide the appropriate links to this app in the video description. And I've got a few more things to mention before I wrap up this video. I'm still working on version 1.2 of Vision Basic. My time has been super divided lately, and I'm a bit snagged on my current improvement. So if I can't get past the hurdles soon enough, I may release an unfinished version. Version 1.2 isn't meant to be a major release anyhow. I'm injecting some stuff into it in preparation for version 2.0. So if anything, I mostly just need my peeps to test version 1.2 for bugs once I release it. If you're a bit skittish about bugs, just keep using the current version of the software. Speaking of bugs, someone discovered a bug in the Spredator sprite editing program that comes bundled with Vision Basic. So a patched version can be found in the customer forums. The bug prevents users from being able to list a directory of the sprite files on disk. Again, this bug only affects the version of the Spredator that comes bundled with Vision Basic, and doesn't affect the version that you can download easily right off my website. As for what's ahead on this channel in the near term, I plan to do a video series that caters more to the less experienced programmers. So be on the lookout for that. I'm finding that a lot of people struggle with some of the most basic aspects of programming. That doesn't mean that I won't try to impress, though. And a fan of the Minuet song that I played in my last video pointed out that one of my notes is off. So I will upload a corrected version of the song to my website. I greatly appreciate having this error pointed out to me. So a sincere thank you. So that brings us to the end of this video. As usual, I thank you all for watching. Please like and share my video, and definitely subscribe for more similar content. And make sure to visit visionbasic.net.